LeBron spoke. It was his town, obviously his franchise, the Cleveland Cavaliers, overall his franchise. He's obviously a Laker right now. But his homecoming, and LeBron spoke with Kenny Smith before All-Star weekend, or certainly at least before the All-Star game. And he reiterated that he believes he's the greatest player to ever put on sneakers. Here he is.
At that moment, I was like, I'm the greatest basketball player people have ever seen in all facets. Like, I could play the 1 through 5. I can guard 1 through 5. Just like literally like did something that's never been done in the history of the sport. I mean, teams that go down 3-1 was 0 for like 32 in finals history. There was nobody ever coming out of that. And nobody gave us a chance. I just felt like ain't nobody better than me at this.
All right, Rob, I know you want to tackle this. So
I just feel bad for him. I do. And I understand it. You can feel good about your accomplishments and what you've done. For you to go out front and tell people that you're the greatest whoever did something or whatever, that's just not your place. That's just me. I don't believe that's where you should be. It just sounds weird to me, and it doesn't make any sense to me from this standpoint that it was just 2 years ago after he won the bubble championship, he was asking people, I want my damn respect. So what are you asking for? Like you want your respect from your peers and other people who don't even believe you're of any of the stuff. So you even acknowledge that people don't look at you that way. That's why you're asking for people to respect you. We've had it's not just current players who are jealous of his success and all the stuff that's happened to him, right? Because Chris, we know this when you have a horse in a race, there's jealousy and all kinds of stuff.
Absolutely.
So a lot of times you can't me and you talk about all the time. That's why they can't vote for each other, because there's a bias there. It just is, okay?
Right.
And he not only gets it from the players that are currently play, he gets it from the past stars who have taken issue with his track. Has he accomplished a lot? Unbelievably, yes. I've said for all the criticism I give him, Chris, I've said he's the second best player.
Right.
So you could say I'm a LeBron hater. I don't have him 5th or 10th on my list like Charles Barkley or Kenny Smith at one point, and Paul Pierce and all these other people didn't even have him, Chris, in the top 10, which is outrageous when you talk about his numbers and all the other accomplishments. So I'm not in that camp when I look at him, but I do not believe he's better than Michael Jordan. I don't believe he's the best player ever. He's damn good. He's great at filling stats and putting up numbers and all that, which is all great. And he's won and he's done a lot of stuff. But when I look at those two, there's no doubt if I was picking a player that I wanted to start my team with and win a championship with and take the last shot, it's going to be Michael Jordan. And that's what I look at, not how many scoring a basket with your team down 18 points in the last 2 seconds to make sure you get 30 points. Like that ball should be dribbled out. There's nothing there, and you're laying up a ball uncontested so that you make sure you get 30. Those are the things that bother me about LeBron, but that's him. That's for him to say. I'm just telling you how I feel. I feel bad that he still has to feel compelled to say that. If I was in LeBron's spot and they asked me, that's not for me to determine. That's for everybody else to talk about. That just would be my answer. I've done, my resume speaks for itself. People will take a look at it and they can determine whether or not they think I'm the greatest player ever.
Well, it's not about you being a hater. And unfortunately today, if you don't say LeBron's the GOAT, people think you're a hater.
Right.
And Rob, I've defended LeBron vehemently against Skip Bayless for nearly 2 decades. I've done 6, 7 cover stories for ESPN the magazine on LeBron. I've gotten to know him fairly well. I don't see him a lot now, haven't seen him in years up close, but spent a lot of time with LeBron and really like him a lot. So and just because I say he's not the GOAT, some people say I'm a LeBron hater, which is ridiculous.
Which is ridiculous because
All right?
a lot of people think you're a LeBron
right, because
advocate or you're always
Exactly.
protecting him or
Exactly.
apologist. That's what I hear from people. Chris is a LeBron apologist, and
I just said that to show how it's so foolish to say if you don't think LeBron's the GOAT, you're a hater.
Right.
Because you're right. A lot of people think I'm a LeBron apologist, and some, because I don't say he's the GOAT, I'm a LeBron hater. But let me just say this, Rob. I do think LeBron, and you and I have talked about this, and I've brought it. Well, Ali used to say he was the greatest, but I've thought about it, and you know what? Ali did it in a way, there was some humor involved, some salesman and marketing chip, and it became a part of his shtick.
There you go, Chris.
So much so, and the proof is here. He was saying he was the greatest before there was any evidence whatsoever to believe that.
There
right?
you go.
Before he beat Sonny Liston.
Right.
He was, I'm the greatest, right? I mean,
he hadn't even won the belt yet. That's what I'm saying. So
exactly. It was
that's spot on.
Than LeBron being serious and bringing this up. And I think, unfortunately, it does show how LeBron is a bit insecure about this.
Yes.
Because, look, Rob, The Athletic just released their top 75 players over the past couple months and, naming it down to the top one. LeBron was 2, Jordan was 1. Just finished it up within the past week or two. ESPN just released their order of their top 75. Of the top 75, the official one by the league, ESPN's panel of experts just came out today, I believe. They got LeBron number 2, Jordan number 1. We saw the ESPN poll of fans, many of them young millennials after The Last Dance. What was it, 70, 80%? LeBron number 2, Jordan number 1.
Yes. Like those are the millennials, not the old heads, Chris. These are they're the ones taking the polls on ESPN and all that, not the old heads. So that said a lot about them. And if you remember, Michael swept everything, I think, except for one category. You remember that?
And some of it was even I wouldn't even agree with. But
one was like passing
everybody
or something,
was giving
and they
him
gave it to
yeah. And I would give that to LeBron. And I just think because of that, Rob, because he basically sees that virtually everyone is saying he's second to Jordan, that he feels like he has to come out and say it. And you're right. He should let others say it. There are going to be a lot of young people saying it, I think.
Yes.
As they begin to dominate the narrative, we'll see what happens. But I think that's what it is. And let me quickly throw this out because we're going to throw it out to the callers. Call us in. Tell us who you think is the GOAT, even if you think it's somebody else. But what do you think LeBron's the GOAT? Why?
And what do you think of LeBron saying it? Does that
I'm
make you
throw
cringe,
out a couple
or
things
you cool
quickly.
with that? Okay.
Here's why I believe Jordan was the GOAT. He was more dominant individually. 10 scoring titles, 3 steals titles. LeBron's got 1 scoring title, 1 assist title. More dominant team-wise. LeBron spent 11 years in Cleveland, delivered him 1 ring. Jordan spent 11 healthy years in Chicago, delivered him 6 rings. Jordan has 2 of the 3 three-peats in NBA history since the retirement of Bill Russell. So LeBron's got an argument for longevity, Rob, but it also can work against him because it's like, well, in 18 years, he won 4 rings. Jordan played 13 healthy seasons and has 6 rings.
Chris, if he plays 3 more years and it's 22 seasons and 4 rings, that is not – I don't care what anybody says.
Absolutely. LeBron, Jordan denied, once he took over the league, denied a host of Hall of Famers. Barkley, Ewing, Olajuwon, Shaq, David Robinson, on, Reggie Miller, Gary Payton. He denied them rings. A lot of people got rings under LeBron's watch.
Everybody
Jordan had literally no weaknesses on the court. There wasn't one thing he couldn't do. LeBron is nitpicking. Free throw shooting is a weakness. Jordan was a better defender, defensive player of the year, 9-time all defense, again, in 13 healthy seasons. LeBron, 6-time all defense in 18 seasons.
18.
Yeah, 18 so far. LeBron, I think Jordan could fit into a system easier, made it easier for teammates to play with him, particularly stars. And Jordan doesn't have a meltdown moment on the record. LeBron's got Dallas. He's not the only one, Magic had, 83. They call him Tragic Johnson, or 80,
Right.
80, yeah, 83, or 84. I'm sorry. And then others have done it as well. Nothing like that with Jordan. He lost, but he didn't never had a meltdown. All right, so those are some of my reasons